good, everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 62. Before I go into this chapter, let me go ahead and cover the first chapter of Richie's Pirate Crew. So, I thought it was pretty funny, man. You know, Richie, he has a thought bubble, and I guess the thought bubble is supposed to be his pirate flag, and it has Richie on there. And he's got like a little lion's mane. And this shit is for real, man. So they're really going to follow Richie. Wow, that's some wacky shit right there. I thought maybe that was a joke that Richie was the, pirate. But they're calling it Richie's Pirate Crew. And apparently they're getting ready to take on some tribe, man. So I really wonder how this is going to go. What the fuck is Richie going to do when he runs in a buggy again? Because, Buggy and I think it was Kabaji use Richie as a shield in order to protect themselves when they're fighting against Luffy. So moving right into this chapter, man. This is on some fairy tale level with some feels, man. And the reason I'm saying that, like in today's fairy tale chapter, like the raw emotion in the chapter was just off the charts, man. And that's what I got from this one right here. Only a little better done. Like, the only reason I'm saying it's a little better done is there's a deeper message behind it. And if you can't tell where I'm going with this, I'm talking about the fact that Gin is torn between loyalties. And I thought that was key because this is what I mean. I think I said in one of my chapter reviews before, when you write, you should always be looking for a deeper meaning. You should be asking yourself, your readers should be able to answer this question after reading this story. What does it mean to be human? What does the author think it means to be human? You should always make your readers question that when you read something. If you can't answer that question after you read a story, even if it's about dragons and fire lilies or water lilies, whatever, right? Even if it's about that, and those items don't have human characteristics, you should still be able to answer that question. If you can't, it's not good literature. So, getting off my soapbox now, I really enjoyed just watching Gin struggle because he kept using words, and the Don Krieg's pirates kept saying, he's the most loyal, and at one point, Sanji has to tell him, like, look, you're calling this guy your hero. He's about to kill you. Just the language, and just to be, give a little critique, I thought it was a little overdone because we don't need you to tell us over and over and over that, like, yeah, Gin is the most loyal of Don Krieg's pirates, and just keep using words like that. It's almost like Oda opened up a fucking thesaurus and said, what does loyal mean? Okay, here's a synonym. Let me just use all of these. Like, that's what I felt like what happened. Didn't need to do that because this is what I talk about when I say showing versus telling. In this case, he's telling us how loyal Gin is, but you've already showed us that. We could have just got straight to the flashback at this point, because the flashback that's like shows Gin, it doesn't show us with him impersonating him, but one of the pirate people for Don Krieg says that while Iron Fist Brody was chasing them, Gin posed as Don Krieg in order to draw him away. Like, showing us that was enough to show the loyalty. Showing us how he accepted Don Krieg's punishment, which was the MH5 bomb, the poison bomb, and he gives his poison mask to Luffy. It shows the loyalty. Like, all that stronger than just like the verbiage. Now I'm going to get off of that because I feel like I've already made the point on that. But here's the other thing. Like, just watching this one panel here. This was nice right here because it's actually 3 panels. But right here, you see the face of Sanji, and he's got the mask on, and Sanji's saying Gin, and so it's Gin, but just the way that the hand's drawn, if you look at that, you see the veins popping out, and I was like, oh shit, he took the poison. And right there, it just makes it all the more ominous because his face is covered up. And if you look like Luffy is like, oh, this mask just happened to be lying around, and it's just like, how thick headed are you? You know, like how thick headed are you? Like I'll give Luffy this. He was quick witted enough to snatch the mask off of some of the pirates before they went underwater. I'll give him that. That was very resourceful. But right here, this is the panel I'm talking about. This is just beautiful. Just hands down, that's when you get confirmation. There's no mask on his face. And right down here, oh man, I just saw that and it's just like you have got to be kidding me. Like if this is poison gas, man, like it did not clarify. I know Don Krieg used the word deadly, but I'm a little suspicious because you guys did tell me that Oda does not kill off. In this case, I'm wondering, is he gonna kill off Gin? Because we don't see him like just completely drop off. Like when we see him, he's just laid back and he's got the blood, and I'm thinking he is gonna die at this point because it would serve as a jump starter for Sanji and maybe even Luffy, man. Because Luffy has this thing with his pirate crew, and because he grew up around Shanks, to see somebody mistreat their crew, who, I mean, their right hand man just looks up to him. That's almost like Luffy doing Zoro dirty. So this is gonna be interesting to see just how Luffy kind of reacts to it, because he looked like he was about to snap when the chapter ended, but I think that this is one of those situations where if Oda does decide to kill off Gin, I think that it'd be good for the story. But then again, I mean, I thought that Mary was gonna die, so I mean, we'll just wait and see where this goes, man. But the reason why Gin stuff really, really affected me more than anything else is it speaks to what I mean by the bigger about. People have this need to believe in something that's larger than themselves. And that's actually one of the 48 laws of power, which is to make yourself seem greater than you are. And if you just look at it, that's why people go to religion. That's why people always seem to center around a political candidate. Like if you look now, like one of the biggest Republican candidates is Donald Trump, and then one of the biggest Democratic candidates is Hillary Clinton. And you just look at it, Trump kind of breaks the political mold, but if you look over there on the Democratic side, the Clintons have made themselves so larger than life that the name is recognizable and people kind of flock towards it. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like when you've already built that, or you're in the process of building that, with those two respective, it makes people kind of come to you. And that's what Don Krieg did. And that's why people in leadership positions, they're so powerful, and it's a good power and a bad power, because you can make people believe you and follow your last wishes down to the T. I mean, a great way to look at this would be to look at, say, World War II with Hitler. Hitler came up at the end of World War One. He built himself up with the people, did a lot of great things for Germany. Did a lot of great things to Germany, but he was also doing some very fucked up shit. And people started following him because he had already built himself up. And so when he's like, okay, we're going to take all the Jewish people and put their ass in concentration camps. And we're going to take all the minorities and put them in concentration camps. And people who aren't what our standard of beauty, blonde hair and blue eyes, like they're going to be cut down and pegged down. We're going to invade this country. People followed it without thinking twice. Morally, they knew this was wrong, but he was so built up in their heads that they second guess their morals, and that's what Gin did, and that's what the rest of his pirates have done. So this is huge, man. The fact that he's able to, when I say he, I'm referring to Sanji. The fact that Sanji is able to break through that and reach him, and it's even just with an act of kindness. That's huge, man. And like I said, the bigger thing about human is you're choosing between loyalties. On one hand, it's just like, man, Sanji and these cooks, they saved my life, man. Don Krieg, can you spare this ship? We wouldn't even be able to fight right now, and we were all on the verge of death if these cooks didn't feed us. And on the other hand, he knows Don Krieg isn't going to do it, and so he's got to pick. Oh, this was beautiful. This was beautifully done right here. This is what I mean when I say internal conflict and external conflict, and you find a way for them to kind of collide. But you do it in a way that it doesn't seem forced and it doesn't come off cliche. That's really good writing right there. So I really enjoyed this. But guys, my chapter question for you is, what were your thoughts when you saw Gin decide to, essentially, in my opinion, give up his life for Sanji? You know, what do you think? I thought it was kind of poetic. You know, Sanji saved his life, and now he's giving his life potentially to save Sanji. So this was pretty interesting right here. But that's it for this review. If you liked anything I had to say, as always, comment, rate, subscribe, and share. I'll greatly appreciate it. That's it.